Hey everybody. I've just been sitting here looking at my 125. I've rearranged the lighting a little bit. I'm still not satisfied with it. I need to buy better fixtures for the top of it, but I've moved it around a little bit. I'm actually, now that I've just turned the TV off so I could film, I've noticed how much light is actually coming up on the wall back there, so I'm going to have to do something about that. But I just sat here and I got to thinking about the lighting, and I'm not going to do a video about lighting because I could actually probably do a whole video series about lighting. I'm absolutely fascinated by it. Everything from, you know, how it's made to how it travels through whatever medium it's traveling through. What you can do with lighting in your tank is just amazing. And I think it's just one of those things that people don't really put a whole lot of consideration into beyond, you know, is it enough to keep my plants alive, and that sort of thing. But the one note I will make, just to give you a very quick example or demonstration of what I'm talking about, if you look at these rocks over here on the left side, and this is where it's most significant, is the changes I made. You can see some shadowing on the face of the upright rock. You get a lot of shadowing underneath of this broken piece. You get a lot more texture down here on this bottom piece. But watch what happens, and I'll try to do this without losing your view. Watch what happens when I move the fixture around just a little bit. You can really do a lot in your tank with lighting. As far as, I don't know, I guess the feel, you know, obviously you're not going to change the scape by moving the lighting around, but you can certainly change the feel of the tank and the look of the tank. And just mess around with it, play with it one time, and you're sitting there one night just grooving on your tank. Just, you know, if you got multiple lights, try turning one out, try turning the other one on, move it forward, move it backwards, and you'll be surprised at the different feel you can create. The issues I'm having with this tank is the front center portion of it has this. Now I've moved it so you can't see. I did have these two footers that are now in the middle section. I had them up front on these two lids or doors, whatever you want to call them. And then I had this 3-foot bar back there. And what that did was it gave me a nice easy opening right there in the front of the tank, but it also created this giant dead zone right, I mean, my Tenopoma would swim by and he would just fade to black as he swam right through the front center of the tank, and he'd turn into a silhouette, and then he would fade back into view as he came under the light on the other side of the tank. And that was just totally unacceptable. I was not about to have a big dead zone right smack in the middle of the tank. So I've moved the lighting around a little bit. Now you get a much better look at my Synodontis, who likes to hide under this log all day. You know, I could always see him before, but you almost kind of had to know he was there to know he was there, because he was, you know, so shadowed. I'm sure he probably preferred it better that way, but this is not disturbing him in any way. He's a very outgoing fish. That's not bothering him at all. And it allows the viewer of the tank, or the viewer of my videos, to actually enjoy seeing the catfish in there a little bit more. So it's this whole idea of balancing the needs of the fish with what I want, with what's practical to maintain. You know, what can I afford? That's, you know, that has to be a very real consideration a lot of times. But one thing I will recommend, excuse me, is not to skimp on your lighting. There is a lot of ways you can buy inferior lighting, and I'm not necessarily talking about cost-wise, but generally when you buy really cheap or shady stuff that doesn't give you a whole lot of information, just try to avoid that kind of stuff. You know, buy stuff that, you know, whether you like LEDs or you prefer the T5s or you like incandescents, you know, get something that's a reputable brand that actually tells you what the color temperature is and that sort of thing. You really don't want to mess around with that. You get the wrong color temperature, you know, your plants start dying. And on one final note about the plants, and apparently this video is going to be about lighting. It was supposed to be about, you know, something else completely different, but that's kind of how it goes with me most of the time. If you do have plants in your tank and you do have lighting for your plants, be mindful that you have to change your bulbs about once a year. That does not hold true for LEDs, but if you've got fluorescent tubes, what you see changes very little. You know, the appearance in your tank isn't going to change much at all. The light spectrums that your plants need to thrive and be healthy fade over time, and within 6 to 8 months your light is down to probably about anywhere from 50 to 60% efficiency, depending on how frequently you turn it on and off and how long you run it during the day. By about a year, your light, regardless of how bright and shiny it looks in your tank, you're really not doing your plants anything near what they were when that bulb was new. So just go ahead and replace your light bulbs once a year if you use fluorescent tubes, and that stands for T5s, T8s, T12s. It doesn't matter. If you're using fluorescent bulbs, you need to swap them out about once a year on the outside. As you can probably skate a little longer than that if you really want to, or if you have really low lighting need type plants. If you've got higher lighting need plants, you need to be a little, maybe every 9 months, swap those bulbs out. So if you've had your tank up and running in a while and everything was doing good and your plants looked okay, and all of a sudden you're starting to wonder why your plants are turning yellow and things aren't going well or whatever, change your light bulbs and you'll be surprised at how quickly your plants will recover. So I'm actually going to wrap that up and call that a video, and that'll just sort of be a little short video getting you introduced to the idea of lighting. I guess maybe I will start a new playlist and I can start doing a series talking about lights and lighting on the tank or whatever. So give me your feedback on that. Throw some comments down in the bottom. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in hearing me go on about, because believe me, I can go on and on and on and on and on about lighting and lights. And I've done gardening both indoor and outdoor for years and years before I ever got into fish, so I know far more about the lights and the lighting for my plants than I do about most other aspects of the tank. And like I said, it's something that fascinates me, so you get me started talking about something I'm interested in and I can just run on, as you can well imagine, I'm sure. So thanks for watching this one. Please leave your comments, please like, please subscribe, and let me know if you want me to start that new playlist or not. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you real soon.